Hi, today we're going to present our game Hole in the Camera, made by me, Jerry Liu, Amo, Sadhu, and Ayush. The inspiration of our game is by a game show Hole in the Wall, where players must contort themselves to fit through cutouts in a styrofoam wall moving towards them. Otherwise, they'll be pushed into a hole. In our game Hole in the Camera, we set a virtual version of this game, but more accessible to everyone who has a laptop and some floor space.
Now let's get into the actual architecture of the game. We chose to split our game into three main components: the model, the view, and the controller. We also have a few external asset development scripts that help us create the masks that users see as they play. First, we have to make the masks using OpenCV and many of their libraries, which takes your cutout and can create black and white images based on if it's within the contour or outside of the contour. We also use the dpose to analyze where someone's joint positions are relative to those contours. And so this is used to check the accuracy of the person. Then getting into the actual game flow, we use Pygame to display all the game features to the user. They get an introduction screen, then instructions, and then once they get into the actual game, they see their camera input overlaid with the mask. And so that mask is what they have to fit into. In there, the controller takes the user's posture and sends it to our model. The model also receives the set of joints that the user should have had, joint positions that the user should have had. It compares these two against each other to check their accuracy and determine if they won or lost. This is continued for 7 different rounds, and at the end, the view displays their average score and if they won or lost.
My takeaway for the project was the process of coming up with the game idea, designing workflows, adding new things, adding new game audio features and sounds. The entire process helped me learn a lot, and challenging ourselves when we implemented new features using different libraries, new functions was the best way to learn and enjoy the process.
I had 2 main takeaways for this project. For one, designing software with user experiences in mind rather than personal experiences was really different in how I assessed what design decision I should make, and was really insightful on this process. I also got basic exposure to neural networks and really learned that they're really useful in a bunch of different cases and make solving hard coding challenges much easier in certain cases.
I agree with Amo and Yush. The process of turning individual images, music pieces, and game mechanism functions into a complete game that can bring people joy is challenging but also interesting. I think I also learned a lot from working with my team.
For the next steps, a feature that we want to implement is adding more than one person that can play the game at the same time. So the mask could show 2 different postures of 2 different bodies, and 2 people could play the game at the same time. We wanted to implement a leaderboard with using SQL databases so we can keep track of the high scores, and at the end of the game, we could display a leaderboard. We also wanted to add multiplayer functionality. So players could play over a local network with 2 different teams. So teams could compete against each other and pitch for the highest score.
Now we're going to show you how our game is played.